All right, what's up, folks? Welcome to Foreign and Domestic. It is good to be here. Good to see everyone up in the side chat so far, rocking and rolling out there. I'm not sure if Alan's going to make it or not today. With that being said, Bald, will you start us off right, sir?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, a nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Jamie, how you doing, brother?
Better than I deserve. Thank you for having me. I got some bullets cast up yesterday, so I've got a lot of powder coating to do, and those will be heading out to new homes hopefully this coming week. So, yeah, I always look forward to hanging out with you guys on Sunday night. So, let's do this.
Awesome, man. Pat, how you doing, man? Appreciate you filling in last week.
Hey, not a problem. I saw a spot and I just thought I'd fill in a little bit, so not a big deal. But yeah, no, I'm doing really good today. Just like we were talking about in the back chat before we got started. I had a really good this afternoon. I got to take my Mosins out and shoot them. Was actually shooting some new ammunition, that Igman 170 grain M30 ball. And then I got to try out some more of my sniper ammo from my leaded tin can. So that always brings a smile on my face when I bring something from World War II out and put a couple rounds down range and it hits where I'm shooting it at. So, no, man, I'm happy. I've had a really good day. Really good day.
Awesome, man. Very, very cool. And we have the one, the only, the Battle Bean. What's going on, brother?
Hey, how's it going, guys? Thanks for the invite, Scotsman. No, man, all good over here in the hood, man. Just enjoying the family and enjoying the cooler weather. That's for damn sure. That's pretty much all I got. Thanks.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Yeah, I'm not enjoying the cooler weather too much. It's kind of playing havoc with me, but it's all right. Balls, how you doing, man?
Is my microphone working?
Yeah, you're good.
I don't know. The headset's all screwed up, but yeah, I'm doing okay. Hanging in there. Sorry about the background noise, so I'll just kind of lurk in the background.
All right, no problem. All right, so let's see. Pat got up and shot this week. Anyone else get up and shoot?
I did last weekend. Got to go shoot some 1911s, and it was really good. Got to shoot my CMP 1911. Shoots real good. Really happy with it. Just need to tweak a little bit on my formula there for the powder. Just a little bit light, but still ran well. So other than that, it was good.
Awesome, man. Good deal. Good deal. Yeah, I didn't get out this week. It was kind of hit and miss this week.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I went out Friday to my sister in PA, but didn't really get all the shooting done I wanted. I kind of messed up with the divorce. Half the stuff is all over the place. My reloading stuff is stashed in a container. So it's like, it's going to be a while till I get out of this shit.
Yeah, I got out last weekend a little bit. I shot some of that 22 ammo I picked up, but man, the gun does not like it. It does not want to eject it properly and refeed the next one, so it's not cycling good. I'm not surprised though, because it was pretty cheap.
Uh-oh, what'd you pick up?
That was I got some Browning 22 ammo on sale.
Yeah, that's for sure. That Browning ammunition sucks, man. I've never had any good experiences with it.
Yeah, I think it's the 36 grain. I think it is. So it's a little bit on the lighter than the other stuff I have, but oh well, we'll still burn it up. It'll just be a little bit slower process. So, Jamie, you had a good chat Friday, didn't you, with talking about Elmer?
I did. Where were you? We missed you.
I was beat.
You know, when you're not feeling well, when you're down anyway. So then you go to work anyway, and then it mounts up on you, brother. Today is the last day for our open enrollment at my work. So I'm trying to make these decisions, and I have no idea. We got another guy important down here that we need to. What's up, Alan?
Well, good evening, all.
Well, look at that. It's the shit show supervisor showing up.
What's happening, man?
Yeah, I apologize for my absence the past couple of weeks. Something happened, and it knocked me down for a solid 7 days. And yeah, I wasn't working. It was
I thought you meant
probably
you
the
came
first
out.
time I've been down that long for as long as I was.
Oh, I thought for a minute you said you came out. I was like, oh, that makes sense.
You could get pretty busy like that, couldn't you?
And here we go.
Come on, shit show supervisor. Nah, man, but I'm glad you're feeling better, bro. Just messing with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think I'm the curse because every time I come on, Alan, and I haven't been on a whole lot, but every time that I come onto the show, you always either get sick or you are sick.
This time around was really, really bad. One day I was at work and I was getting really, really, really dizzy. And so some of you know I already have blood pressure issues anyway. I don't like sharing my medical on live, but we had to cut some hours at work anyway, so I just went ahead and went home for the day early. And the following day I was so dizzy I couldn't even walk. I still went to work. But I went to the restroom, and on my way back to my desk, I looked like I was in a drunken stupor. And so I was so dizzy by the time I got back to my desk, I was puking. I went to urgent care. They gave me some like antihistamines and crap, sent me home. The following day, I'd had my girlfriend take me to the ER. And I shit you not, people, I was in the waiting room of the ER, never saw anybody for over 10 hours. They didn't bring me back for triage. They didn't bring me back to even ask me what was going on with me. Eventually they did a CAT scan. They did a blood scan, but that was even before they even admitted me into the ER. So by hour 15 at the ER, they finally had me in a room.
You gotta be careful because a lot of times
they had me in a child's room, and they were all they were doing was giving me like antihistamines and shit. And I ended up checking myself out because at that point I was just like, you guys aren't helping me at all. And if I had the means and ways, I would be suing the hell out of that hospital right now.
I think you should, man. My thing is the whole point when you go to the ER for, man. You know, And why? I guess my question is, why'd you wait 10 hours before you said something to somebody? I know
Yeah,
after the first hour, I would have been like, what the hell's going on here?
well, ER generally sucks. You don't go to ER unless you're fucking dying, bleeding, and the fucking you got intestines pouring out of your stomach or shit like that. You go to urgent care. Otherwise, you suck it up, wait till next day, and go to see a doctor. There's zero. They got zero responsibility to help you unless you fucking die. So even suing doesn't
Well, the
really
fact
do
of the
any
matter
good.
is I was exhibiting other than my ability to speak wasn't affected and my motor skills necessarily weren't affected, other than I couldn't walk because I was so damn dizzy. I was exhibiting every signs of a stroke. So yeah, that's why I went to the ER, because the fact of the matter is I was showing every signs of a stroke.
Man,
Other
you
than
should have
those
done
two
the
factors. And
you should have
if
done
I
the
was
Sanford and
bleeding in the
Son.
brain, I would have died in their waiting room.
Damn. Hey man, you should have done the Sanford and Son fucking Elizabeth. I got a heart attack and shit. Man, they would have taken care of your ass. I would have. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it's insane how they treated you, man. Absolutely insane.
I don't. Maybe because you're an illegal alien. I don't know. I have to throw that out there. I don't care.
Yeah, it's I avoid them at all costs, but I understand why you went. It's just crazy though how they treat people, man.
Don't worry,
Maybe you should,
Mario. I'll allow it.
maybe you should speak Spanish, Alan. That would take you right in.
Yeah, and so a week before that, I had an employee that was having some issues, and we went to urgent care, and the urgent care said, no, either you need to take this person to the ER right away, or we're going to call paramedics and have her transported. And so I took her to that same ER, and we were there for 5 hours before they even called her back to ask her what was wrong with her. And it's not like I'm in some Bodoc ER in the middle of nowhere. This is the largest ER in Des Moines. And it's not like they were slamming busy. But yeah, I don't know. The fact of the matter is I'm never, ever, ever going to that hospital ever again. I'll die before I go back to that hospital, because I'm just not going to die in their waiting room. They can go eat a bowl of dicks.
So let me ask you this question: did you go get a CAT scan? Not a CAT scan. I mean what are they called? The EKG. You get that done?
Eventually, once they brought me into the room, I had a nurse do an EKG on me. I'm like, I don't have I'm not having heart problems. Um, that's not the case. You guys just keep throwing stuff at me, but in all actuality, I can count on one hand how many nevertheless it was such a horrid experience that after hour 15 I was like, this is so torturous, I'm out of here. And I signed myself out. I left, and just as I was leaving the parking lot, the hospital called me and was like, hey, you need to come back into the hospital so that we can remove that PICC line. Oh, don't worry about it. I've already done that. What? You removed your own PICC line? I'm like, yeah, I know how to insert them and I know how to remove them. Oh, okay. About 2 minutes down the road, I get a call from my town police department Apparently, the hospital called them to do a wellness check on me. I'm like, well, I was just in their hospital for over 15 hours. If they gave two flying shits about my health, then they would have helped me while I was at their hospital, and they did not. And that's why I signed myself out.
I can't help it, but I got to say this catchphrase. It's a got away. Can't help it.
Well, I'm sorry, Alan, but are you feeling better now?
Yeah, actually, just the tail end of last week, I did return to work. And I'm significantly better than I was. I do have a few dizzy spells here and there, but the
you need to go
major
see your primary
headache
doctor, dude.
and all the other signs that I was having have subsided.
You can go see a primary doctor, bro. Here's my thing.
Well,
that would work.
I'm actually debating on. I'm debating on changing my primary doctor as well because they work for the same company.
I was gonna say, are they at the same hospital place?
Seems like you need a full-blown physical.
Yeah, I had a full-blown physical 2 months ago for my commercial driver's license. Everything was hunky-dory.
And if it was done by a chiropractor, I would not trust that fucking physical. Just saying. No. And look, guys,
that physical was actually done by my primary doctor.
I'm an area fleet manager for a fucking logistics company. These fucking drivers come up to me with some bullshit medical card and it says physician, fucking chiropractor. I'm like, how the fuck does a chiropractor know what the fuck you need? All he does is break bones and shit and make you feel better and tells you come back in 2 weeks and shit.
The guys that go get their DOT medical from chiropractors are because they don't want to have to get records for like a sleep apnea mask or stuff like that. The chiropractors can get away with it. And so guys will actually pay a little extra to go to the chiropractor to get their DOT physical done.
But as long as you're using your fucking CPAP, they cannot take your commercial driver's license away from you. And the thing about it is, I have a CPAP. I can tell you guys, a CPAP tracks your sleep. It has a fucking monitoring device on the shit. So whenever a doctor wants to look at it, as long as you're using it, they can't take that away from you. They can't take that right away from you. So.
Yeah, Alan probably went down to the dock to get his.
Yeah, and here's the scary thing. You guys know about what size I am. I'm about 6'1", about 150 pounds. I went to go get my license on it, and they said I had to gain weight.
Shit, I give you some of my fatness, bro.
I don't really blame them. 6'1" and 150 fucking pounds. You gotta look like a Jew from Auschwitz for crying out loud. Jesus Christ. I'm 6'3" and I'm about 250, 245. Yeah, you're skinny fuck.
Yeah, I can hide behind a telephone pole on a good day.
Yeah, well, it's good in case you get into firefight.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're out there, man, where there's nothing stopping the wind. If the wind hits you, you're gone.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I get a 40-mile-per-hour wind, and I really got to watch myself. No joke. No joke. I'm not joking.
Scotsman knows that firsthand.
You turn sideways, you disappear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, and I've been built that way my whole entire life. I have one of those bat metabolisms. that I can eat I can literally mow down a smorgasbord and I might gain a pound. So I'm pretty blessed. I'll put it that way.
I hate you.
Yeah, I know. Usually everybody does.
One leg behind the telephone pole. There you go.
Yeah, most people's arms are bigger than my legs. I'll put it that way.
No, the physical I had before that, the guy got done with the physical, he even gave me a proctology exam, and he left the examining room, and right away the nurse came in and said, "You have any idea who that guy was?"
Is that why you had a smile on your face coming out of the doctor's room? No, but in all fairness, man, I'm glad you're doing okay, and I'm glad that you're feeling better. But I would suggest you go get some medical help. See somebody else other than those jokesters in the emergency room, man. Because the thing about it is, who knows? Maybe you did have a mild stroke and you didn't know nothing about it, man. My thing about it
I,
is those kind of things you just can't joke around with, man, or leave it to the side, you know.
I had a blood pressure problem. I was on blood pressure meds. And as a matter of fact, I'm still supposed to be. But you know what? I dropped the weight, and then I dropped the ex-wife, and my blood pressure problems went away.
Yeah, I've been on blood pressure meds for a while after I regained a bunch of weight, but over the past 4 or 5 months, I've been losing weight significantly. I'm still on the blood pressure meds, but I've had blood pressure issues for quite a number of years. And yeah, I do plan on seeing another doctor, but I think I'm going to end up having to find a new main practitioner, simply because my main practitioner works for the same outfit as this hospital, and I'm just I'm not going to deal with them anymore. That was um, one of the worst experiences I've ever had in life in general. So
Yeah, that's 15 hours is ridiculous, man.
Agreed.
That's past ridiculous.
Double agree.
So you guys ready for Tuesday?
Tuesday, just another day for
Yes.
me, brother. I'm ready to see
Question.
the results.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm just worried about the outcome.
well, yeah.
This coming Tuesday, I will have been voted for 2 weeks. So there's
Oh,
that.
that's right.
Oh, nice.
Georgia, you guys can do early voting, right?
Yes, sir. And
Okay,
it's
that's good,
been
man.
backed out to the sidewalks everywhere, all day, pretty much every day.
And,
Yeah, I
and
heard
and
some
that's
places.
good.
I heard some places were shutting down, having to turn people away because they were so packed with lines.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania, they tried to stop early voting a couple of days early, and it went up to the Supreme Court, and they said, no, you can't stop that. And it was actually the Republicans that brought that up on that in PA. So, yeah, there's already been some stuff going on already, especially with the ballot boxes on fire and some other stuff going on too. But no, I'm going day of. I've ever since I turned 18, in 2000. I've been voting on everything day of. So I live in a small town, so I don't have to worry about anything real big. So
Whoa,
I
whoa,
usually I can
whoa.
get
You turned 18 in the year 2000?
yep.
Never mind. I turned 18 in 1980.
I was gonna ask Jamie, do you have shoes older than him, or
I've
No,
got a pair of hunting boots that I've had longer than he's been 18. I'll put it that way.
no,
Man, I have a
I
poncho. I have a
oh
poncho liner that's fucking older than you, man. The hell?
well, yeah, I'm sure I'm probably me and Scotsman are probably the younger guys on this, but
No,
no,
that fucker's ancient too. I don't want to hear that.
oh okay. No, I'm 43 now, but no, I've been voting ever since I was old enough, and I've always gone uh, and done it in person. I don't know. I guess that's just kind of just my civic duty to go vote on everything, especially local stuff and everything. That's always come up
So you were
in our
born
town and everything.
you were born in
81.
81.
Yep, I'm a Gen Xer by that much. So I'm proud to be a Gen Xer.
So Ozzy's a little bit older. Let me recalculate that. Yeah, I turned 18 in 1980.
Man, you
Ozzy,
must have had fabulous hair back then.
oh man, y'all should see my graduation picture.
Oh man,
Yeah,
you look fabulous, bro.
The
I,
flowing locks.
I was 6 years in 1980.
So I'm kind of like Pat. I live in a really small area, so I don't have to. Where I can vote is literally within walking distance for me from the house. So when I get off work Tuesday, I'll be as soon as they open, I'll be there.
Yeah, yeah. Ohio
Yep.
and Georgia, man, you guys are crucial states, man. Man, you guys are crucial states. What state you live in, Pat?
Nebraska.
You, that's a
Yeah, I know, but actually, one of our districts is going to go blue this year by calculation.
where in
We,
Omaha?
yes,
Hmm.
that don't even get me started on that.
Hmm.
They're the ones that drive
Man,
property tax and all that.
damn freaking Cornhusker kid.
Yeah, I love the area that I love in, but I don't necessarily love politics. I'll put it that way. You have to blow me up to get me off my ranch and my farm, but yeah, don't necessarily like Omaha.
Yeah, but I am really happy what I've seen in Georgia and the early voting, and you see these huge lines, and I'm like, wow, God bless America, man. That is awesome. I love seeing that. I love seeing people go out there and vote. I'll be honest with you guys, man. I was part of the first elections, the first democratic elections in Iraq. I was actually protecting one of the poll stations, and stuff like that. And to me, when I seen these people actually get a chance to vote, and you can see it in their face and how they felt about it and how they actually had a voice, man. I think people in America don't have no idea how important that is, you know. And I encourage everybody to vote, because that's the whole point. That's the whole point of us doing what we do, paying our taxes and all that kind of stuff, man. And I'm happy to see that in certain states like Georgia. I don't know about Ohio. Ohio's usually. Do you guys do early voting in Ohio?
I I haven't seen anything out here.
Okay.
At least out my way. I'm not sure
Okay.
as far as the state itself, but I haven't seen anything out this way as far as early voting. Daniel will
Okay.
probably know for sure.
The real question is, do you guys still believe in election after the last presidential election, when everybody knows that they were cheating? Does your voice actually matter? Because I'm
Well,
disappointed that I think they just have all the ballots they need printed out already, and whatever we do don't fucking matter.
I mean, at this point, you know, you kind of damn if you do and damn if you don't, man. Just the way I look at it.
Well, here's the thing. You got to look at it like this. Mario brought up a good point. There's the lines are through the roof this time, and if you look at the numbers so far, I forget what the percentage was, but I think it was like 40% more people are out there actually voting than in previous elections. So people are wanting their voice heard. So
Yep.
you gotta give it a chance, man. You know, that's the whole point of the system. That's the whole point of getting out there. So, you know,
Yeah,
yes,
but if the system is rigged, it don't matter how many people vote, because we got no way. There's no oversight. There's no control. Like last time we went to bed, we win in landslide just to wake up to a bunch of goddamn votes come in the middle of the goddamn night. So, what gives?
Right. And I understand that, Val. I definitely some hinky shit was going on there, you know, between water pipes bursting and all this other crap. But as far as mail-in ballots and early voting, just dovetailing off what Scotsman said, Republicans are way up on where we used to be as far as early voting and everything. So I'm hoping that there's still the same amount of red votes and stuff that come in the same day. I'm just hoping that it woke enough people up to get out and vote, especially Republican, you know, for Trump and everything. You know, obviously that's who I'm voting for, but I'm not going for a word salad. But yeah, so anyway, that's what I've seen in the polls so far. Smoke them if you got them.
yeah. Well, I do agree that with the system that the system is obviously rigged. We know this. I've seen plenty of examples over the years myself. You know, there's certain things you got to look at that your vote is still out there, you know. So when you think about if enough votes go in, they're not going to be able to deny that fact. They're not. No matter how much they fucking rig it, they're still not going to be able to deny that fact. And so you're still making your voice heard.
I don't know. After the last election, I don't think anybody's voice was heard because, like I said, old man that never left his basement won the goddamn election with such a overpowering margin, and everything, all the votes, everything that he got came in at 4 o'clock in the morning in unfolded ballots. So I just all that kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. I don't honestly, I don't believe in elections anymore in this country.
Well, are you still gonna go? Are you still gonna go though, Val?
I'm still gonna go.
Okay.
But
All right. Good.
What the fuck are you bitching then? Seriously, man. I don't get it. I don't get it. Here's my thing. Here's my thing. Put the motherfucker in the goddamn elections fucking office. They can't fucking deny your goddamn vote, bro. Don't put this shit in the fucking mailbox. or take your
Dumbass.
happy ass to the fucking to the mailing box and fucking vote.
Dumbass.
Personal.
They can't deny your vote, but they can change it. Do your fucking
Okay.
research.
Dumbass.
So
Dumbass.
all right.
I'm
First
not the
off,
one that's sour about everything in life, man. That's you, fool. Don't throw me in your bullshit.
I'm not sour about everything. If you knew half the shit going on in my life, less of a man than me would hang himself. So you know what? This is like, I'm just saying, my vote ain't gonna matter because I'm in New York. This is already a liberal shithole anyway. So there's a snowball chance in hell the Republicans are gonna win. You know, so I'm not holding my breath that my vote will do a whole lot. You know, but you know, I'm talking in general. I just, you know, like how the fuck you go to bed watching every goddamn poll there is and you're winning everywhere just to wake up in the morning, find out you're fucking lost.
Well, I'll put it this way. Since he is voting and everything, I'll put it this way. The people that don't go out and vote and at least cast their ballot, especially in their local, state, and federal, they don't have the right to bitch. Not at all. Because they didn't try, they didn't throw their hat in the arena, they didn't make their voice be heard. Val might be upset and everything, and he might be kind of down on everything, which I understand, especially after last year. Val, I totally sympathize with you, brother. I really do. But at least you're still going out and you're still voting. Even though you're in a liberal shithole, at least you're still making your voice being heard. You're still doing your civic duty. So I applaud you for that. I really do. Thank you. Thank you for going out and voting.
the one thing I will say, folks, is when you do go vote, make sure before you turn that ballot in, once it prints out, that you look at it and double check your vote on that ballot, because I have seen a few different things out there where they've been changing them. So make sure you're paying attention to what's going on before you submit that. Got to remember, it's still a digital thing, and once it prints out, so just double check it before you hand it in.
I still think that it's gonna get to the point where county election officers are gonna end up being ridiculed and criticized the most out of all this. Kind of like what happened in the last election. But I think I would hate to have that job right now, because if somehow it doesn't go a certain way, either way you're gonna lose no matter what, man. It's just I would not want to have that job.
No, so I've already seen a couple things, and I don't know if any of you guys have seen it, but the Cackling one already has a team of lawyers ready to go for if they do lose. You know, so they can go ahead and start fighting against it and claiming, you know, bullshit, whatever.
You know, I think one thing we haven't talked about is making sure we're prepared just in case there's some craziness that happens after this election.
Yep,
you know,
absolutely.
Make sure we prepare ourselves, have some food, water, all that good stuff. You know, because who knows, man? You know.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Make sure you know where everything is sighted in, and make sure you have enough supplies, you know, in case something does happen, so where you're able to get by.
Yeah. Well, I really hope it doesn't come down to that. And I don't know if we're quite at that point yet, but I guess we'll see what happens after the election. Because, you know, I ain't got a magic 8-ball that'll tell me exactly 100% of the time what's actually going to happen, or a crystal ball. But yeah, it's always better to be prepared, for dang sure. For dang sure.
You imagine if it gets to that point like it did when Bush won against Gore, and they have to count every individual ballot in Florida one by one. I don't know if you guys remember that stuff, but I'm just wondering if it was gonna get to that point, man.
Well,
What's the problem with that? They ought to be doing that anyway. I know our ballot system prints out your selections on a piece of paper, and then you have to put it into a reader and all of that kind of stuff. But like Scotsman was saying, uh, you got to be cognizant of what that piece of paper says when you put it in that reader. And not just that, somebody's got to check up on the readers themselves. If it's in a system, it's hackable. I mean, there's not I mean, our banking apps and I mean, that's the most secure uh, network connection that we have, and it still gets hacked all the time. You know, if somebody's going to throw an election, that's where your vulnerability is. It's got to be.
And I agree with Razor. Shit's gonna hit no matter who wins. And I think you'll see, depending on who gets in, you'll see a bunch of civil unrest to certain degrees. And obviously, it'll be worse if one over the other gets in. But no matter who gets in, you'll see some civil unrest.
The only thing that it's going to do is change the terminology on the news. It's either going to be these domestic terrorists or these peaceful protesters. And that's the only thing that's going to end up changing. Other than that, yeah, I expect some type of civil unrest. No matter what candidate wins, I expect some kind of civil unrest. I anticipate it, I should say. I'm not telling people to do anything. Don't get me wrong. But I am anticipating that there's going to be civil unrest, either candidate that wins.
Yep. I wonder if we're gonna see the ain't fuck around militia again. Ain't fucking around militia. Remember those guys with the backward fucking scopes and shit? Didn't know how to put fucking magazines correctly in the rifle. You remember those fuckers? I want to see those fuckers just so I can laugh and shit.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Right? I forgot about that until you brought that up. That was fucking hilarious.
That shit is hilarious, dude. I was dying laughing. I saw that shit in CNN. I was like, oh my God, look at that shit.
Oh, man.
I know y'all were all scared, weren't you?
I was petrified.
Yeah.
Put their magazines in backwards, they're going to shoot themselves.
Right.
Just remember, folks. There's a lot of these things that are instigated by or infiltrated, however you want to put it, by various agencies and that. So just watch yourselves if you're out in that realm of things.
Yeah. Well, I'll give a little message out to everybody out there. Just remain calm. Don't fly off the handle or anything. I know things can get heated. Everything can get wound up. Just everybody, 99% of people like us, we're usually pretty calm. We always we hope for the best, prepare for the worst. But everybody just try to remain calm out there, no matter what happens.
Yep.
But,
no, Razor says it best. Stay away from the nonsense. Protect your family. And make sure you got supplies.
Yep. Hold the ones you love dear.
Ozzy, I would politely and respectfully as possible say that is not an AD. It was not an accidental discharge. It was a negligent discharge.
Yeah. Anybody that
wasn't that down at Stone Mountain here in Georgia where that happened? I know there was, yeah, anyway. A lot of crap happened in Georgia that embarrasses the crap out of me. But
Yeah, man, you guys got issues over there.
yeah,
Seriously.
and like
Uh-huh.
California
And
does it. Yeah.
no, we have all-star team more on political guys, but that's different. We're more worried about lattes, making sure they get it right, than some stuff like that.
You probably drink one with your pinky up too.
Oh, that's funny.
I think that Georgia kind of wrote the book on stealing elections. I really do. I can't remember that chick's name that ran for governor, but I'd like to see her and Marjorie Taylor Greene in a grudge match.
Oh, that would be fun.
No,
That would be fun.
barred. What was her name? I want to say Cynthia McKinney, but it's not. She retired
No.
a time ago.
No, you talking about Stacey Adams?
Yes.
Something like that, right?
Abrams.
Abrams.
Oh, there you go.
Abrams.
All right, I was thinking about shoes there. Sorry about that.
Yeah, yeah.
How about instead of debates, that's what we do. We throw them in the ring and let them have at it.
Right.
That'd be awesome. I like to see Carrie Lake throw a figure 4 leg lock on homie over there. I don't know.
Cage
Kinda
match. No holds
Yep.
barred. No time limit.
Ooh.
No disqualification.
Ooh, old school
That's it.
WWE.
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
The
Yep.
winner is the one that can't walk out of the ring. That's what I'm talking about.
Yep. No,
But
no
hey-
glove, old school, bare knuckle.
Right.
Oh,
Yep.
Well, no holds barred, but no disqualifications means you can
Oh.
bring whatever into.
Oh, hey, be like the movie Kickboxer, where you put the glue on the
Yep. With the
Like the little
glass
gloves
and everything.
and the
Dip
glass.
it and roll it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
No,
Yeah, man.
I'm talking about
That's
blue
gangster.
jeans, cowboy boots, big old belt buckles. Get in there and do your thing.
Oh, the redneck
Tables,
version. Okay. got it.
ladders, chairs, barbed wire bats. Throw it all in
Hey,
there.
dude, that's like ECW, man. That's like old school, real old school wrestling
Mhm.
there.
Real old
That's
school. NWA.
that was right here.
ECW. ECW.
I'm talking Dusty Rhodes and Dick Slater. Y'all don't know who those guys
Oh
are.
yeah, no, yeah, I know exactly who those are.
Hasbro says if you could divorce Atlanta, the state would be a lot more sane. It would be a lot more sane, but it wouldn't be the way we wanted it because you still got Savannah and Macon, who are also liberal bastions.
Can you guys just keep the varsity and just call it a day?
Well, that's the trouble, man. The only really good varsity is the one that's downtown. I know.
Mm.
Oh, I got some breaking news for you, Mario. Check
Ooh,
this
tell
out.
me.
Bojangles now has peach cobbler. Get out of town. Get you some of that. I mean, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh man. Man, you are all over it like hot cheese on nachos, bro. I love it.
telling you. Yeah, and CNT Design says, don't forget Columbus. See, that ain't really our town. Columbus ain't really Georgia. Columbus is more of a function of Phoenix City, Alabama, and the United States government, because that's where the big army base is in Columbus. So while we're going to support those guys and do everything we can for them, at the same time, you got to understand that we have no control over how they vote because the U.S. Army ships them in from all over the country. Mike Hester, Thunderdome, bring it.
Ooh.
2 men in, a 1 man leave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Fort Benning, home of the infantry. Yeah, I love it. Yeah. So
Wasn't
No,
the
man.
82nd Airborne down there for a while?
No, that's in Bragg. That's in North Kakalaki. Fort Benning is it's the Infantry and Armor School. It's one of the largest facilities there, and so yeah,
Beautiful.
it's a big base. Oh, it's a beautiful place.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's
just
more gooder.
by the Fort Bragg, me and Craig gave each other too. That's what we shot at the Mother Fusion.
Man, fix your fucking mic, Jesus, dude.
I'm sorry. It's shut up, you
Jesus
Mexican.
Christ, fucking dude. Hey, at least I'm not a
Damn.
low budget Mexican with your fucking non-mic ass.
I got Mike. It's just a shitty mic.
Ooh.
Hey man, stop buying shit from the swap meet, man. You be all right.
You're just fucking jealous Mexican. That's all you are.
Oh, is that what that is? Okay.
I'm just gonna put my foot in my mouth and just stay quiet right in a second.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know,
No.
the shipment from
Oh,
Russia
dude,
got
this
damaged,
is
that's all.
this is nothing, man. You should see. Actually, I wish Stan would get in. God is my judge. Get in here because then it'd be really bad. But yeah, no, it's good, man. It's Georgia's definitely a very diverse state for being the way it is, and it's kind of spread out with different beliefs and different way people think over there. Interesting.
Yeah, they still got Trump leading by 5 down there right now.
I hope so. But I do
Yep.
love Savannah, by the way. Just Savannah.
Is that nationwide or is that just in Georgia or?
Nationwide.
I don't know about that, man. Anyways, I don't trust polls, man. If you guys didn't learn
Well,
anything from Hillary.
and I don't either to a certain point, but at the same time, it's just you're trying to go off of what they're saying, and it looks like he's going to have hopefully a more comfortable one this go around with all the politicking he did down there. So, no, I'm just like the rest of you. I've still got my fingers crossed. I mean, I'm hoping for a blowout, just so that way they can't come back and say anything. But who knows? I don't know. Nobody else knows until the polling is done and everything's.
There's a couple
We'll see.
states that I find to be troubling. One is Arizona. The other is Pennsylvania, and I would probably say Wisconsin. But those are key states, and of course Ohio and Georgia. But those 2 states, 3 states really are. I think they're going to make and break a lot of things.
Arizona is probably one of the worst right now. They are allowing all kinds of different shit to pass and go through and be allowed. And yeah, Arizona is, yeah.
Well,
And
I guess we'll see.
I don't agree. What the hell's going on in Arizona, man? Like, it's it used to be such a very strong Republican state, especially when John McCain was around. So I don't know what the hell happened after that.
Well, unfortunately, it's just like a lot of places, like Georgia and all that as well. That all in Tennessee and some others. All the big cities just get filled up. And as soon as the big cities get filled up, that's where the issues start to come.
Yo,
Yeah.
can you hear me now?
Yeah, look at that. Shit, about time
Are
you
you
connected
happy
There
that
you
shit,
go.
right?
I'm Mexican.
Yeah, you fucking non-reading ass. You should have read the shit instructions right. Maybe it'll fucking
No,
put it right.
I actually got a $300 freaking headset, but the mic on it sucks for some reason.
Oh, see.
I'd be
buying
asking
cheap
shit from
headset.
Amazon.
I'd be getting a fucking refund on that shit.
This
Yeah,
ain't,
stop
this,
buying
this
that.
ain't the Amazon. This is not made in Guadalajara like your shit.
Oh yeah. Hey, but the shit works, right? And look, it's got lights on it, motherfucker.
Yeah, you look like a fucking gaming Mario.
Yeah, that's right. You looked
You
at
probably
yourself,
stole
man.
it from your kid that plays Xbox.
Yeah, you look like the rejected Mr. Clean. I don't know what you're talking shit for.
Oh, you just fucking hating.
You just, I am the Slavic. I am Slavic Mr. Clean. Clean now, yeah.
How do you say Mr. Clean in freaking Spanish? Mr. El Clino?
No, we don't have Mr. Clean. We have Fabuloso. That
Yeah, I
shit
know,
takes
because
out
nothing's
third world
fucking
dirt.
clean in Mexico. I get it.
Yeah, that shit takes out third world dirt.
Oh shit.
Oh man, I've never seen anybody talk trash about a cleaner before, so that's awesome.
Don't get me started. We can start making wars about Ballisto and COP. I'm just saying. Just saying.
All right, might have to see that
Clean
one later.
doesn't exist in Spanish language.
What?
Stoke the fire, stoke the fire, stoke the fire.
Hey, can you say it again? Can you say it again? I didn't put the SAP button on. What would you say?
I said the word clean is not in a Spanish vocabulary, dumbass.
Like I said, it's fabuloso.
I'm sorry, but round one's got to go to Mario, especially when you hit that SAP button on that some bitch.
yeah. Hit the SAP on that son of a bitch. Let's go, man. You put the Slavic second language button.
Man, that's hilarious. I love Sundays again.
He's
Pat,
just
this
hating
is-
because I'm been
Pat.
looking.
Pat, this
Yo.
is nothing. Trust me, man. This is nothing.
Well, this is the first time I've been in here on Sundays where Mario
Oh.
and Val have both been in here. So
There's
this is fun.
there's a reason why AllenBePro is called the shit show supervisor, because he manages the shit show. You know what I'm saying? He manages all the nonsense that we talk about. Right now, he's a little hurt. You know, he's got the iPhone I can't get up going on. Man, it's all right though. Still love you, Alan.
I even have a T-shirt.
Oh my God, you got a T-shirt.
I've seen it. Alan, I need to apologize because I've been doing the outro and it has been seriously lacking. So we're glad to have you back this evening.
Well, I
No.
appreciate you keeping on the tradition. I do, trust me.
No, Jamie's been doing a pretty good job, especially with that little guy sitting just right behind his chair over there, especially with both barrels. And
Yeah.
it's just like that old saying, give them both barrels.
All right.
Oh, Jamie, you did a good job.
We
All
are right around halfway, Alan. You want to go through the side chat, brother?
Hey, bro. Side chat. Alan.
So we've got Abigail out there, been out there the whole time. Bama Dad, Big Al, C&T Designs, Kyle, the MCK, Michael Dunn, Mike Hester, Ozzy Osborne, Walter Davis. Man, it's been hopping over here. Good to see everybody out there this evening. Sorry if I've been slagging a little bit, but yeah, good to see everybody out there tonight.
Absolutely. And we got Alaskan Ballistics. What's going on, brother?
Oh, not much. How you doing?
Hanging in there, man. Hanging in there.
Man, what is it, like 3 o'clock in Alaska right now, man?
4 o'clock.
Oh, sorry.
I just woke up
Forgot
from a
about-
Sunday nap.
Oh, look at that. The struggle's real for you, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, so when did the Northern Lights start hitting over there in Alaska, man?
Usually September's a good month. I mean, they hit all the time, but the darker months are easier to see them. Usually September or October you'll get it. I mean, it really all just depends on the sun and what the coronal mass ejections are from it, So you can hit it anytime. You won't see them in the summer. You don't, because it's light all summer,
Right.
So it starts getting darker in September. Starts getting dark in September around 9:30, 10 o'clock in early September. Then it's time to see them.
When does the continuous sun happen? Is that in the summer, right?
Yeah, that's the December. I mean, the summer solstice is June 21st, and so you have 24 usable hours of daylight. Technically, you don't actually have 24 hours of, like, there is a sunset this far south in Alaska, but yeah, technically it never gets dark, which helps.
Crazy,
But then on
man.
December 21st, the opposite is true. Like, I think we have 3 or 4 official hours of daylight December 21st. But the sun takes so long to rise and takes so long to fall. You still have light before the official sunrise, and you still have light after the official sunset. So there's like 4 or 5 hours of official sun of usable light, if you will. But yeah, it's only like 3.5 hours in Anchorage, which I don't live in Anchorage anymore. Close enough to it. So.
Wow, that's crazy, man. Interesting, but yeah.
Makes it hard to film shooting videos where I go shoot, like, the sun essentially rises in the southeast and sets in the southwest, and where I go shoot faces south, so it's hard to get the sun behind your back when you're recording videos and stuff like that. It gets too bright and all that kind of stuff.
Right. You live in a rural area, or you still live close to the city?
I still live close enough to the city. I mean, technically, I can go hunting across the street from my house, though. So yeah, it's rural enough. But
interesting. Okay.
yeah, it's the greatest place in the world to live. I don't think I'll ever move back down to the lower 48.
No, man. One thing I've heard from people that live in Alaska is that you're gonna love it or you're gonna hate it. One of the two. so if you love it, then you end up making it a home, and those that don't end up coming back to the lower 48. It's just hey, what's going on, man? Be a hoe. But yeah, man. That's cool. How long you been living in Alaska?
Just over 11 years.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah. Up here, and I never looked back, man.
Yeah, I can see the appeal out there, man, for sure. I don't think I'd deal well with the brutal cold, though.
In southern Alaska, it doesn't get much colder than the northern United States. So like, the climate's not that much different than like Minnesota in Anchorage or so. You just might have another week or two of it during the year. That's all. Like, it's never gotten that -50, -70 you think of in Alaska. Like, it never gets that near Anchorage. Like, it rarely gets past -30 where I live. Not that -50, -70 thing. When you look at Fairbanks, you could literally throw a pot of boiling water up in the air and it'll freeze and snow and crystallize before it hits the ground.
Yeah, you lost me at negative.
Yeah, man. I'm tropical peoples, bro.
Yeah, the funny thing was, I was looking for a place to live, and I got in a conversation with somebody, and they said, and I was still in Georgia, but I was moving up here, and they said, yeah, Anchorage isn't as bad as what you think. It's pretty temperate. It doesn't get less than -30 here. And I go, did he just say temperate and -30 in the same dang sentence? So.
Yeah, -30 would really mess with my knees.
Oh, it really messes with your car engine. That's for sure.
Yep. Oh yeah, I can imagine.
I got to go splice my car heater. I got to plug in my car, but the plug is so old that it's like messed up in the middle of the cold last year, so I can't plug in my car right now. I got to go splice the wire and put a new plug on it. Plug in your car to keep a battery and engine oil heater running. That's one thing you're not used to up here. So
yeah. I still plan on coming for a visit, but I won't be staying.
yeah, I have a feeling you're coming to visit in the summer too.
Yeah, more than likely.
Yeah, is it true the mosquitoes really bad in the summer over there?
Gosh, y'all don't even know what bad mosquitoes are. Ain't none of y'all know what bad mosquitoes are. Man, they will pick you up and carry you off. Like, I've literally had thousands of mosquitoes around me at once. Like, uncountable number, just bunches of them. They will swarm you. You'll step out of the car and go, oh, this isn't so bad. And 5 minutes later, you've got you've slapped your head 18 times from mosquitoes.
You do understand that none of the shit you're saying is helping your case. Ain't nobody wants to live somewhere where there's fucking 1,000 mosquitoes and minus 50 goddamn degrees.
Oh, I know. I get it.
So
He's just trying to
national bird of Alaska is mosquito.
he's just trying to keep all the idiots out of Alaska.
Damn.
Yeah.
Bama Dad is not correct. It is correct. They only have a few weeks to live.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind coming out there and visiting, but I sure as heck wouldn't want to stay out there,
Yeah.
Well, now with all the mosquitoes, I don't even want to come visit.
Well, that's okay. That's okay, Val. We'll think about you, and when Scotsman and I are eating some moose steaks and some salmon, having Alaskan surf and turf, we'll think about you and laugh.
Right.
I can just see Val getting hit by a bunch of mosquitoes.
I'll have that shit shipped over here.
And he looks like connected dot on his fucking forehead everywhere. You can put a little line.
I actually had a head net on, but when I was hunting with Bullets for Bucks, I don't know if y'all know his channel, but he came up here and we were hunting and we were dragging his caribou out. And I had a head net on, but I didn't have anything to protect my shoulders. And I just thought, oh, they won't go through my shirt. Freak, they didn't. They went through my shirt, and I had so many mosquito bites right on the edge of my shoulders. It looks like I had a bruise there, like in a row.
Yeah, I'll probably get ate alive, but that'll be all right. It'll still be worth coming out and hanging out with you.
Yeah. All I can tell you is you need the cancer-causing 100% DEET stuff, and then a Thermacell on top of that, and then you're usually okay. Usually. That'll usually keep you.
So reassuring.
I mean, you definitely shouldn't be working for Alaska Tourism Bureau.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to keep people out, so.
Damn.
All those liberal Californians trying to move up here.
Yeah,
Oh, please.
That.
They wouldn't last 2 damn seconds up there.
No. They'd be like, where's the nearest Starbucks? Am I gone?
Yeah. The only people you might get up there is the Northern California.
Maybe we have a lot more Starbucks than you would expect. In fact, we have like not only Starbucks, we have drive-through coffee stands like everywhere. Then the corner of like every parking lot in Anchorage. So, and across from them is a homeless camp. I don't know how the homeless people will stand it. Oh, yeah. If you're not bleeding, you're not in Alaska. That's right.
Yeah, we could send you some Democrats from Atlanta and Savannah and from Macon and from Columbus.
Yeah, I moved up here to get away from those people.
Don't blame you.
Yeah, well, it'll last 10 days in Alaska. There you go.
And I know it ain't as bad as where you're at, Alaskan, but we have had a dip down where I live at in Nebraska. We've got kind of that funnel in between the mountains that sweeps down off the Rockies, off there, and we do get down into we have had it go down to dang near almost -40, like 4 days straight. And I know you get it more than what we do, but yeah, that's, whew, man, I don't wish that negative 30 to 40 on anybody, but yeah, people can survive it.
I'll tell you where I live, I've never actually gotten below -30. Like -27's the just last year. -27's the coldest I've ever been.
Well, that makes it better.
Damn, really? Man,
Yeah.
I've been down. What was it? 2 years ago, we were at -37 for 2 days, and thank God we weren't calving yet, or else I would have been in real big trouble.
What was it? What was it last year or something? I think it was
Polar
last year.
vortex.
It might have been the year before. Chuck was contacting me and laughing his ass off because we were colder here in Iowa than he was there in Alaska.
Yep. That great big polar vortex that came straight down through the center of the United States and went. That's that one that froze up all the goddamn wind generators and everything down there in Texas. Froze them over and everything, and they had to backfeed all the generators, different lines and everything. Oh man, it was a mess because we had 3 power plants in Nebraska that had to send power through the lines down to Texas, down that way. And we have, that's the one thing I like about Nebraska. We are prepared. We have actual standby full power generation systems that can power up the whole state of Nebraska and send it out. So
yeah, and you only got like 2 million people living in that whole state.
Yeah, and that's the way I want to keep it, Mario.
That's twice as many people as we have. More than twice.
1.2.
That's still twice as many people as we have.
Yeah.
Never mind, Dad. Ask him how many Mexicans they got in Nebraska, Mario.
You can't throw a rock and I hit one. How's that? Them fuckers are everywhere.
I'll tell you what, though, man, I'll take a Mexican over a white guy around here as far as work any goddamn day of the week. No, it's just some of the best guys I've worked with when I used to be a John Deere mechanic and his dad. I worked for the father-son duo. His dad had a haying company, and I worked on the mechanic side, and I was a John Deere mechanic.
Hey, what was the name of the company? Jose and Jose?
No, Klein and Klein. Yeah, 2 Germans. Anyway, but yeah, half of the force that did the haying and everything was Mexican. And, I'm not being rude about it or anything, but, those guys, I'd have to help with the haying in the mornings, the baling, the baling, the raking, getting hay put up, early in the mornings. And some of the best guys I worked with were Mexican. Those guys, and they were all older. They were all older guys too. The older guys knew how to run equipment, service it, get out there, and just freaking do it. And those guys were the hardest working SOBs that I've ever been around, hands down. No joke.
No, you'll definitely see it, and that's why you see them. They're one of the first ones at Home Depot waiting for jobs.
Yep.
Exactly
hey, if you want to get paid, you got to go to work. Right?
I've done supervisor duty. It's hard work. It really is. Got a point everywhere they need to go.
Stereotyping a little bit there, ain't you, Mario?
Oh, bro, come on, man. You gotta have fun, bro. You gotta.
Oh
have
yeah,
fun.
I know. That's why I'm throwing it back at
The stereotypes
you.
are hilarious. The stereotypes are hilarious, bro. I just go with it. I don't get offended.
I know.
Funny as hell. I think it's funny as hell.
No, that's good. And I'm glad we can joke about shit like that in here. It's absolutely hilarious.
Okay.
Yeah.
Time out. I got to say something. Something we haven't addressed this evening. I think we all owe Mario a big congratulations because his LA Dodgers won the World Series.
Them Doyers, man, you should have seen there was like 2 million freaking Mexicans at the parade. Fuckers are throwing tequilas and Dos Equis everywhere. It was great, bro. No, it was awesome. And thank you for letting us have Freddie Freeman.
You owe us one. I still blame his agent for that.
Yeah, no, I read the whole thing, and his agent got greedy as hell, and he upset Chipper Jones. Like, dude, that's like Braves royalty, man. You don't upset that guy at all. Chipper Jones is amazing guy, dude. And no, I have a lot of respect for the Braves. I was a big fan of the Braves in the '90s when they had Glavine and they had Smoltz and they had who's the other guy? Glavine, Smoltz. They had like 5 pitchers that were just they were just lights out.
Avery and
oh, there you go, Avery. Yeah,
that's when I grew up.
Yeah, man. I used to watch them like, man, they're just so dominant. That was like the best pitching line. I can't believe that they only won 1 World Series and they had such a good team, man. I don't get it. I still don't know how they lost to the Twins, man. How you lose to the Twins, man? That's like the most low budget team ever, and they lost to them.
Yeah, I was at that World Series, 1991. I was there. I was 11 years old. No, I was 9 years old, and was holding a sign that says "Justice will prevail" because David Justice was in the lineup. So got to be at World Series and everything. It was pretty cool. And then they never won it again.
I see a pug.
Yeah, they didn't win it in 91. I don't think they won one till 95, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah, that 91 series was so good. I went to 7 games, and I remember they lost the game by a base hit. I forgot the guy's name. I remember he was long hair, blonde guy that hit. I forgot his name, but yeah, it was. I mean, those are really just really good. I really think that was like when baseball was really, really good. I mean, it's good now, but it's not at that same level. Like I'm maybe a little more biased. I just think that the 80s and 90s had really really good baseball, man.
Well,
And the
they,
fact that you had Vince Scully announcing the games, man, that just made it even better.
yeah, you're right. What What are your thoughts on the changes of the rules? I mean, it's not the same game as it used to be back when I was a kid growing up and playing. And
Well, I don't like the extra inning man on second. I don't like that because to me I think that's untraditional. I really feel that the timing of the pitchers is gonna end up to leading to more injuries. I think to a certain point, the pitcher has his own way of doing things, and I think when you start timing that, it affects. And I think that's the reason why we're seeing more injuries with pitchers, and that's the reason why pitchers don't last more than 5 or 6 innings. Where if you recall back in the days in the '80s, I mean, it was customary to see like a Nolan Ryan finish a game by himself, not needing a bullpen, or Fernando Valenzuela finishing a game by himself, or Don Sutton, or any of these pitchers back in the day. Um, I honestly think that by putting, although I do like the designated hitter, and I think it's kind of cool, but I really think that's an American League thing. It's not a national league thing. And I still feel that when you take that away from the pitchers, it just doesn't make it interesting. I'd love to see a pitcher get a base hit. That to me is like the ultimate ever, because you had some really good pitchers that knew how to hit, you
yep,
know, and you taking that away from them. So I don't like how they keep changing the baseball. The baseball keeps changing all the time. I think it should be a certain way. Just leave it like that. We are seeing more home runs, but at the same time, it's like I still don't like it. I still wish it was kind of like back the same way it was before.
well, those days are gone. We'll never see it. I'm a purist. I think baseball should be played during the day on grass without a designated hitter. And I think these bigger bases are a farce. I think that all of the people that hold those old time records from back in the day, like your Sandy Koufax, your Mickey Mantle, Babe Ruth, those Hank Aaron, those guys, everything past what happened from this year forward, or was it last year when they made all the changes?
It
That
was
that
last
needs,
year,
that needs to be a separate category of records.
exactly.
It's not the same
And
ball game.
I still think that there's a I find it funny how baseball looks at one player differently than the other. Why the hell is Pete Rose not in the Hall of Fame? Why was he not being able to be put in the Hall of Fame when you have a freaking Barry Bonds that's going in the Hall of Fame, and we all know he cheated. So how's the difference between using steroids and betting on baseball any different? I don't understand. To a certain point, if he made a mistake, okay. I mean, we even have a rehabilitation system in our criminal justice system, but why is it that baseball doesn't do the same thing? I to this day feel that Pete Rose should have gone to the Hall of Fame, should have been alive to see that, should have been able to see that, his mistake was fixed, and that he was able to move on. We're never going to see that.
Well, I think one of the big problems with sports today is they all answer to sponsors. They got real big, and then all the sponsorships and all that, and the answer to the sponsors.
Yeah.
That's YouTube.
Yeah, and honestly, I go into what Ozzy just said about NASCAR. I used to love NASCAR, man, and I'm not really, I'm not from the South or anything like that, but I enjoyed it. I used to like watching it because it was fun. It was really about who's a better driver. But nowadays, you make it about all this political crap, like this whole Bubba Wallace crap news thing that really pissed me off. It really did, because if you look at it, every one of those garages had the same type of tie down. So how the hell is that like a noose or some sort of racial thing or whatever. And they made it into a racial thing when it's not. You know what I'm saying? Racing is racing. It don't matter what color you are, man. It's just who's a better driver, you know? And they taken that away. And I mean, it's sad that nowadays NASCAR can't even compete with the with F1 or any of these other, type of racing platforms out there. You know, NASCAR used to be great. I don't know what the hell happened to it.
Just like baseball, they changed the rules till nobody recognized what was going on anymore. Now, some of the changes in baseball I can get behind, like playing games at night. I think it's more money for the teams. It enables more people to be able to watch the games. You got the TV ads and all that kind of stuff. But then again, uh, to have like the Cubs were the last holdout. They had at least one day game, like on Wednesday. They had an afternoon game, and it was called Businessman Special. And I get it, and that's the way baseball used to be played, and it used to be covered by sports writers that wrote articles and broke the game down in the newspaper. Newspapers are gone. Nobody watches. Nobody has newspaper subscriptions anymore, and I get it. We got these tubes that we watch now, and yeah, there's a lot of changes.
I think if anything, I think the one thing I think Major League Baseball needs to change is the timing of the pitchers. This whole timing, they only get 30 seconds or something like that between the next pitch. Same thing with the hitter. I
13
honestly think that, yeah, yeah, I think that's gonna end up having more injuries in the long run, especially for pitchers, man. Because I think if you're rushing them, I mean, you got to stop and think about it. Those, their arm muscles are only so much that they can handle, and if you continuously, put them through that much strain, it has a tendency of affecting the pitcher.
Back when I was a little boy, it was an insult for you to take a starting pitcher out of the game and replace him with a. I mean, uh, yeah, come take Sandy Koufax out of the game. Come take Nolan Ryan out of the game. You know, it's. I
Yeah,
seen
Nolan Ryan,
I,
amazing guy.
I seen him get charged on the mound one time.
And you talking about that Robin Ventura one?
I think it was. He got
Yeah, when he
Yep,
beat the
it
crap out of
was.
Robin Ventura, that was hilarious. And here's
I
my
was
thing: why would you?
for the first game he got thrown out of, and the whole Ranger Stadium there, like he'd never been thrown out of a game in his life, and he pitched from like 1968 to like 1997 or 98, was it? Because he had the
Yep,
double
that's
muscle
true.
shoulders, and he had so he
Hmm.
could pitch for a long time, and
Hmm.
called him the strikeout king, but they forgot he walked more batters than anybody else too,
He
and
did.
yeah, and but anyway, I was at a game in Texas Ranger Stadium, and they say he intentionally hit a batter, which he didn't, or he said he didn't, and the stadium was like throwing trash on the field for an hour. Then they're like, "You're kicking out Nolan Ryan." It was the only game I went to that wasn't in Atlanta because I grew up in Atlanta, but like we took a family trip out to Texas, and we were in the top row, and they were trying to like they were arresting folks for throwing stuff on the field, and yeah, it was a big headline the next day too. They're playing they were playing the Oakland Athletics too, so which like had Canseco and McGuire on it at the time.
Yeah, and those two were some roid fucking taking fools, man. You wonder how big they were, reason why they were so big, and how fast how far those baseballs used to go. I remember Jose Canseco. I was watching a game with the Oakland A's, and they're playing the Toronto Blue Jays, and they're playing in the old, maybe yeah, it's still the same. I'm not sure, but Jose Canseco hit a freaking baseball right dead center, three three stories up, and I'm like, how the hell did you do that? There's no way. No human being should ever hit a ball that hard, unless you're freaking Babe Ruth, and even then, I'm questioning it. But I mean,
Well, Babe Ruth wasn't
Yeah,
a spectacle of health and wellness. So
no, he wasn't. But the thing with Babe Ruth, if you really look at his swing was just it was built for freaking home runs, man. Just the way he was built, you know. So yeah, no, it was. I do get sad sometimes because I wish things were a little different. But you know, I do think that certain things do need to change. I don't like this whole wild card shit. I think it's ridiculous, man. Should be either you win the division and you move on, but it's all about TV ratings and whatever they can get, whatever. But it's kind of crazy.
they're just trying to get more games to compete with football. I
Yeah.
got to go, guys, but it's great seeing y'all.
Good seeing you, brother. Appreciate you.
Good night, Alaska.
Good night.
Have a
y'all.
good
Thanks
one.
for popping in, Chuck.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on one tiny little rant. Same thing about like what Mario was doing as far as NASCAR went. I was a kid of the '80s, '90s, and early 2000s, and raced myself for a lot of years. Dirt track, did a couple pavement stints, but nothing huge. But the one thing that pisses me off about this playoff system is I know they had to try to cut back the cost and all this stuff and everything, but as soon as they got away from production cars and started making everything just absolutely one-off cars that you ran one time, junked, built a new car, and everything like that. Back in the 80s and 90s, it wasn't like that. You had your super speedway car, you had your road course car, and then you had your short track car and an intermediate car if you were lucky. If they really wanted to tangle it down, they'd say, okay, here's our production car, take it off the showroom floor, the frame and everything. Here's the body you have to work with. Boom. Just like what they used to have to back in the day. And I hate the playoff system because it's like, okay, here's a guy that has been running everything and they've been squirting their guts out on everything, trying to do these cars and everything. He's got a lead. Now it's down 4. These guys have been working their butts off. Now, granted, I know there's still some money involved in it. I know there is. But at the same time, man, I like the older NASCAR stuff. Because
What really upset me the most is when
What's that?
they changed Daytona track, when they change it to the point that you basically are not really racing. You gotta go, you have to draft, and that's not racing, dude. Because they
No,
made it to the point that it's so steep that the only way you can really win that race is to work as a team with somebody else, and that's not racing, dude. The old school
no.
way of racing is you race the track and you
Yep,
race it the way
exactly.
it needed to be raced. Now it's ridiculous, man. And it's another
Yeah.
thing that really upset me about NASCAR is when they went to Sonoma, when they went to the track of the Americas. It's in California. That's not
Mm-hmm.
a NASCAR. That's not a NASCAR race. A NASCAR race is supposed to be a circle, not a freaking racetrack. Like if you're doing Formula One, that's a Formula One track. It's not. It's not
Mm-hmm.
a NASCAR track. And ever since they did that, I was like, I'm done.
Yeah. I don't know. But like I said, and it's gotten so goddamn expensive. Um, because
Yeah,
Well,
I
and
the big thing used to be you. If I watched it win on Sunday, I could go buy it at the dealership on Monday. It ain't like that no more. That was their
no.
big calling card. It was
Yep.
the National
You can get that
Association of
Chevy Lumina, man.
Car Racing.
Yep.
Yeah, that Chevy Lumina was awesome, dude. And Mike Hester's going uh going freak out right here, but
Yep.
to me, what ruined NASCAR was back in the 80s when Bobby Allison got in a wreck with Cale Yarborough coming out of the turn 4 up there. No, turn 3. And they had a wreck on the backstretch and then got in a fist fight. That was the ruin of NASCAR.
1976 backstretch of the Talladega Speedway.
One of them was driving an Oldsmobile and the other was driving a Buick, and they don't make neither dang one of them no more.
Nope. No,
That was
I mean,
when racing was racing, guys.
yeah. That well, like I said, Jamie, you had to go if you wanted the best of the best. You had to go to the showroom floor, go buy that brand new car, or a year old car, or even two. There was a lot of guys running 2 to 3 year old cars at that time. They'd strip them down, had to keep the frame the same, but it had to be a stock frame. You could weld your cage and everything on it, do your aero and everything, and do your massaging of the body and everything. Get it slung down low, do your springs, your shocks. Set up your rear end, front end. You could change the whole geometry, bump steer, everything on it. And they still looked like the Olds, the Buick, the Pontiac, the Chevrolet, the Dodge. It still looked like that car. It just, they were a slicked up version, and it still had that motor underneath of it.
Yeah.
And that's what I loved about NASCAR back in those days.
Yeah, they had to have the motor that you could go buy.
Yep.
And that's why he had so many special edition muscle car productions back
Mm-hmm.
then. Yeah.
Yep.
And
yep. The Superbird.
I'll say this about that, and I think Rebel will agree, possibly Bama Dad too. But as long as Ernie Elliott could pump as much gas into that Ford as he wanted to, you would never beat him unless you got into the back end of him. And if you let him get out in front of you very far, you wasn't never going to do that unless he lapped you.
Yep. And that's kind of where I came from when I was racing too, because they left some wiggle room for innovation. And I won a lot of races in the class that I was in just because I used to be able to do a lot of what the old NASCAR guys did, except on dirt. So
that's the reason Junior Johnson quit, because they made him quit cheating. He turned the roll cage into a fuel cell.
Uh-huh.
And he could get another 2 gallons of gas out, maybe more.
Yep. Well, remember the roller bearing motor? That he scattered all the way, one of his cars scattered all the way across the track. Was it turn 3 and 4 in but it was all these, he says, the track owner went out the next day and thought, there's all these little sharp needles and stuff out here. I am picking them up. It's like, yeah, that's when they launched one of those illegal roller motors that had needle bearings in it.
Those are such a pain to put in.
Oh, man, I hate those.
Lord.
You better have a lot of grease.
Better have some good grease and a lot of patience.
Yep.
I think Donnie did get into that. Anyway, back to the subject that we are tuned in to talk about. I was on my way to church this morning. There's a big curve right between my house and my church, and it's at the foot of the hill. And I go around the curve, and I look over there, and right in the woods, right next to that curve, and there's 2 deer standing there. One of them's a good buck, and he's got this nice big rack on one side, and on the right hand side, his antlers are gone. He broke off right there at the nub. I'm like, it's time to go hunting, boys. I'm telling you.
And by the time you get out there, there's nothing. You can't catch anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going. I forget what night it was this past week when I went to work, but not 2 miles from the house, and big old 6 point standing up. Just walking, started standing up, started walking into the field. Yep. I think that was Tuesday night, maybe Wednesday night.
They're starting to move around here.
Yep.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen anything for a couple of weeks, really. You know, one or two here and there, and then last week I started seeing them pretty good.
You'll see more and more bucks. But I agree with Mike Hester. I was a Bill Elliott fan, and therefore I hated Earnhardt, but we had to respect him. There was a wreck at Talladega one year where he got into Elliott and Richard Petty, and Richard Petty's car got tore all to dang pieces. I mean, he was in the cage sliding down the track. All the metal was gone. All the wheels were rolling down the track. I think him and Bill Elliott both had a broken leg, and Richard Petty's motor was sitting in the backstretch smoking by itself. That was the worst wreck I ever saw. And then to think that all they had were broken legs was, it was amazing. But yeah, after Bill Elliott retired, we had to move on and find some other somebody else to pull for. But I got some time coming up, so I'm looking forward to some time in the tree stand.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing some of your guys' pictures and stuff. Mark's already been sending me a few from the trail cam.
Yeah, I've been seeing it. He's got a couple of good bucks, and so does CW. They're
CW's only going to catch a cold, man. That's all he's going to catch. I just like giving him a hard time. He going to catch a cold. No, I'm just kidding, man. You know I love you, CW.
I hope.
Oh, man. No, of course not. I'm just messing around. I know I don't know if you guys still talking about NASCAR, but when I went to Washington, D.C. in February, I went to the Smithsonian Museum, and guess what freaking was there? Richard Petty's last freaking car that he drove on. His last race. I think he won the last race. And I started looking at his stats. This dude was like the Michael Jordan of freaking NASCAR, dude. This guy has so many freaking wins. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, he
like,
has the
wow.
record. I think he still does, don't he, Pat?
Yes, he still has 200 wins, over 200 wins in NASCAR. Was it the last car he drove, or was it the last car he won in? Because that was 79.
The last car he won in. It was an
79.
oldie but goodie. Yeah, it was
Yep.
an oldie but goodie. Had an STP logo on it and everything. I'm like, yep, that's old school right there.
Yep, because he didn't quit till 90. Because I remember his last race. That was 92, if I remember right, when he finally crawled out of the car in 92.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it was early 90s. But yeah, that's that was the 79 Pontiac. Yep. And he wasn't even supposed to win that one. Who was it? Two guys got tangled up. He was in third. He wasn't too terribly far behind, but two guys got tangled up in front of him, and his 200th win when Reagan landed when he was running for president. if I remember right. No, no, that would have been 80. Yeah, that would have been the 200th. It was in the 80s. That was his 200th win. So yeah, it would have had to have been an 80s car. Man, I'm gonna have to go back and look at that, man. It's, but I love Richard
Man,
Petty, man, the king.
I got you thinking, bro.
Yeah, you do. You really do. I'm looking that up right now. I'll be back.
It's kind of crazy how you guys remember all this stuff.
Yeah, man. It's I mean, they're good memories. I think honestly, in the 80s and 90s, especially in the height of cable TV, there's really a lot of good sporting. We could see everything. We didn't have all this pay-per-view subscription nonsense. Like if you get on ESPN or you get on whatever channel, you get to see what you want to see. Um, I miss those days because nowadays, now everything's subscription based nonsense, and back in the days, 80s, 90s, and the height of cable TV. What happened? That
No, I was just saying goodbye to Val. Said he had to leave. So,
uh,
1984 Firecracker 400 was his last win and his 200 in NASCAR
well,
officially.
if you ever go
And
to Washington D.C. and the Smithsonian, they have his freaking car
that's,
there.
yep, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it at all. And that's the one that Ronald Reagan came to the track. And that's the one where they've got the plane landing with the car and it's all in the background and everything. So yeah, yep, that was his last race, and that was in that last Pontiac. But he didn't retire till 92.
92 or something like that.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, because I remember I was getting close to. I'm not sure if I was getting close to graduating from high school or something like that, but I did watch it. So going back to what you were asking, Scotsman, back in the day, at the height of the cable TV, you could see everything on TV, man. There was no subscription, there was nothing. You don't have all this nonsense you have nowadays, where you have to have a
Yeah,
sports package, for you to see what you want to see.
yeah. No, it's the same back home, man. You could watch everything, and it wasn't until the early 2000s that all that subscription stuff started coming out.
I remember back in the day, um I remember watching like the old school boxing, like the Spinks fights and the Muhammad, like the Muhammad Ali's, the Marvin Haglers. I mean, you could see it on ABC, man. Like it was awesome, man. You get to see world championship fights without having to need a freaking pay-per-view nonsense. Oh man, I miss those days.
Yep, yep. I watched many of those back in the day.
Man, that's how I got to learn about Sugar Ray Leonard, man. How special that guy was. I mean, Jesus, that guy was amazing.
For sure. I'm not a
Now,
huge
same.
boxing guy, but I know all of the big fights, and
Right.
that's, man, some of those fights, man, just epic. And actually,
Yeah.
to this day, the king of the 5 round fight,
Oh, Butterbean.
Butterbean,
Butterbean.
yeah,
Butterbean was awesome, bro.
Eric
But
Esch, man.
yes,
If he would have been in better
Butterbean.
shape, if he would have been in better shape, I mean, granted,
Butterbean.
huge guy. That guy could clobber his way through 5 brick walls. But man, if
Remember
that
that?
guy could, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, the female. Remember the farmer's daughter. What was her name? Uh, the
Uh,
female boxer. What was her name? She was
uh
amazing too, dude. This
yeah,
is when women's boxing was starting to come around.
yeah.
Um,
Oh,
yeah.
I knew you. Damn, I can't remember the name. I can picture her face, but I can't remember the name.
Yeah. Yeah, but Butterbean was awesome, man. That was like must see TV. You gotta watch that.
Oh,
But
anytime he came on,
yeah,
oh,
but to me, when I got to see Mike Tyson fight, bro,
oh,
that's when I was like, wow, this guy is so freaking fast. I mean, super fast, man. He did that head bobbing thing, and he would do it so fast, you didn't know what the hell hit you. You're like, what the hell was that? And you can never think that somebody like him, as big as he was, could move as fast as he did. You know, his hands are super quick. Yeah, yeah.
That was his hidden thing, man. People would underestimate him, thinking, looking at his size,
Mm-hmm.
underestimate him.
Yep.
well, one of the best things that he had going was, yeah, the guy was a powerhouse. He could knock you out with one punch. I mean, granted, if he caught you, yeah, you're going night night. But way that guy could work under people and just surprise them from underneath and just bam, and he was just poof, you were done.
Man, I remember playing Mike Tyson's Punch Out, man. That was like my favorite freaking NES game, man.
I
used to
still
love
have it.
playing that. I still have it too. I still have it too. I can't beat Mike Tyson for shit, man. Sometimes
Nope.
King Hippo gets me, man. I don't know
Yep.
what it is about his fat ass, but every time it goes like that, I can't get him around the belly on time. He always beats me. But yeah, that's when I don't know. It's good times.
All right, we'll start going through the room. We'll start with you, Pat. What you got, brother?
Got a new video out this week, and got a couple more in the pocket. Actually, did quite a bit of video. But I've got one on steel, 3/8 steel. I've got the 77 grain boat tail hollow point from Meade versus the frangible rounds, and what it does to steel, and how to be safe when you're shooting 5.56 at steel. So it's kind of a dual role video on that. So yeah, go ahead and go come on over and watch that at Pat and Bunker. And of course, all of these fine gentlemen out here and in the side chat, go check everybody out. I know there's a lot of people out there that have content. There's a lot of people in here that have content too. So anyway, thanks for having me on, Scotsman. I appreciate it, and love coming here on Sundays, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate you being here. And let's see, Battle Beam, what you got, brother?
Man, I haven't got much going on, man. I'm just happy I got the chance to chat with you guys, and it's always good to hear from all of you guys. Guys, go out and vote. Go out and vote. I'm telling you, man, it's just crucial. The election's crucial, and God forbid, let's hope that there's no major unrest after the whole shenanigans that happens after the election. Let's just hope for the best, but at the same time, let's be ready for it. That's all I got.
All right. Appreciate you, brother. Yep. Absolutely. 100%. Jamie, what you got?
Sent you an email, man. You need to click that link and drool. Anyway, check us out Friday nights at 8:00 on the Georgia Shooting Connection channel. We're going through a series of some of the heroes of the gun world, particularly the handgun world. And this past Friday night, we talked about Elmer Keith. So if you hadn't seen that, you don't have to watch our show. Just go do a search for Elmer Keith and learn about the man and his greatness. And got a couple of video ideas I'm trying to get out this week. Also, deer hunting's coming up. Thank y'all for having me. I appreciate it. And we'll catch you next time. Thank you.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure, man. Yeah, it was a great chat. Lots of good conversation, bounced all over the place, but that's all right. That's what we like about it. And appreciate everyone up in the side chat. That being said, Alan, take us out right, brother.
Yeah, again, thank you, Side Chat. Appreciate everybody for being out here. I am on a hot streak, an absolute hot streak of not putting anything on YouTube, and nobody likes a quitter. So I'm not going to quit doing that. What I am doing though, is I am researching for the next book on the if humans can honestly be altruistic. So with that said, I do want to remind you to keep them magazines loaded and one in the chamber. Woo!